2 weeks ago, an army drone caught footage of 3 Namer tanks, those transport soldiers in Gaza, going up in flames at once. Each tank carries 12 soldiers. That's room for 36 soldiers overall, and the tanks were bombed at once. The commanders, seeing the footage, were stunned and broken. How would they convey the news to the families? 36 soldiers. At that point, one of those commanders received a call from a soldier from one of the 3 tank platoons. The commander was shocked. "How are you calling me right now?" he asked. The soldier responded, "You won't believe it, it's crazy. Our rotator belt got stuck. We couldn't move. We didn't want to be sitting ducks, so we jumped out of the tank. The tank behind us thought that something must be wrong, so they jumped out too. Same with the 3rd tank. Moments after we had all made it to safety, the tanks were hit and went up in flames." Miracles are amazing. We celebrate and commemorate them. But don't get carried away. God has his way of running the world. He put a system in place with laws of nature, with cause and effect, gravity, relativity. So the Talmud says that while we celebrate miracles, we mustn't pray for them, as miracles require Hashem, so to speak, to break his carefully crafted and balanced system. Now, let me ask you a question. When we eat bread and then bench during Chanukah, we insert the paragraph Al Hanissim into the second blessing of Birkas Hamazon, thanking Hashem for the miracles of Chanukah. But what happens if you forget to insert Al Hanissim at that point? You should insert it towards the end of benching, but it's prefaced with a small prayer. And here's how that prayer reads: "May the compassionate one perform for us miracles and wonders as he performed for our forefathers in those days at this time." But isn't this praying for a miracle? Isn't that forbidden? Why are we being encouraged to do that? The Bechor Shor, who lived in the 12th century, gives an answer which, I feel, is very pertinent to the challenging times that we are now living in. It's true, he explains, that we are not allowed to pray for personal miracles. But here we are saying, may he perform for us miracles. We are davening for miracles in the plural, for us, for Am Yisrael, for the Jewish nation as a whole. Asking for national miracles is totally acceptable. It's actually encouraged. But what's the difference between personal and national miracles? So here's a suggestion. The Jewish nation was born miraculously. We left the clutches of Paro and the slavery of Egypt with unbelievable plagues and wondrous occurrences, the splitting of the sea, followed by manna falling from the heavens for 40 years. So on a national level, we were, from our very inception, created above and beyond the order of nature and the regular norms. That's why Hashem told our forefather Avraham Avinu to go outside and look at the stars and the constellations and realize that he was, and we are, above them. And it hasn't stopped there. We experienced the salvation of Purim. On Chanukah we won the war and the temple was rededicated, initiated and inspired by the miracle of the oil. But maybe, more pertinently, over the centuries, in fact, the millennia, the Jewish people, against all odds and natural predictions, have endured. We're still here to tell the tale. Writing in the 18th century, Rav Yonasan Eibeshitz said that our national survival, despite the hostility and persecution by the nations of the world, is more miraculous than any event which has taken place, even the exodus from Egypt. Our very existence, from time immemorial until today, has been one big divine miracle. Our national essence is to defy nature. We are not bound by its laws. No gravity or relativity for us. So davening for a miracle for the Jewish people is a great idea. That's what we're all about. Maybe you can join me in taking inspiration for this message, never to give up hope. A miraculous salvation for the Jewish nation could be just around the corner. and we should daven to Hashem with all of our hearts to make it happen.